Hey everyone, this is Mayan Gordon. I am back, co-founder of Champion Empire, which is now essentially fully incorporated my previous social media company, Mayan Gordon Media, meaning my media company is now just one sector of this larger business, Champion Empire, with my partner, amazing partner, and really good friend, Jesse Johnson. And the mission that we have at Champion Empire is to empower and equip champions from all over the globe to become leaders within the business community. And we do that in a variety of ways, from coaching to helping with social media strategy to helping out with your podcast. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions around our services. But today, I'm really excited to share with you guys, I have finally taken all of my ideas, all of my knowledge around social media, and created a really systemizable, flexible, and applicable 6-step strategy process that you can go through to create an amazing social media strategy for no matter what platform that you want to be on. So today I just wanted to hop on here and do a really quick overview of what that 6-step process is, so that if you're interested, you can start on it on your own. If you want to kind of go in depth with it, feel free to hit me up. I'm happy to do a consultation around it, a deep dive strategy session, or even a workshop for your entire team. But I also want to make myself available to any social media questions, any marketing, any branding questions that you guys might have. Now, it's Friday. Next week is Thanksgiving. So as always, please go ahead and comment in the comment section on this video. Where in the world are you watching from? I know that we only celebrate Thanksgiving here in the United States. So if you're somewhere else in the world, let us know. What do you have going on? What are you looking forward to right now? And go ahead and comment at least one thing that you're grateful for. Today, I am grateful for the amazing new people that I got to connect with and hop on calls with today, as well as the people that I'm already connected with who are providing a huge amount of support towards me, both on my business and on this fundraiser that I have going on that I'm very excited about. December 5th is the live 24-hour World of Glass experience, which is a charity event. I'm going to be doing a glass blowing 24-hour marathon, 24 hours, live glass blowing, straight the whole time. Come join me on TikTok, see what it's all about. If you have any time on December 5th, the night of December 5th into the wee early morning hours of December 5th, tune in for even just a couple minutes to see what it's all about. So let's talk about this six-step strategy. And again, if you have any comments, feel free, any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. So step 1 of creating an amazing dynamic, meaning it's not rigid, it is flexible, social media strategy is figuring out and setting some of your goals around where do you want to go? Why are you on social media? Why are you even thinking about using social media as a tool to accomplish some of your goals? How is social media specifically going to work for you? A lot of people get trapped into they're working for social media. They're not getting social media to work for them. You also want to think about some concrete business objectives or personal objectives. Maybe you're not on social media for any business goals. Maybe they're personal goals. You want to make some connections and form some relationships that are going to benefit some part of your personal life. But setting some really concrete objectives. And what I mean by concrete is giving a number and a time frame for those goals. Also, how much do you want to make? How many followers do you want to gain? What is the amount, giving some quantity to the thing that you're trying to achieve? You also want to talk about and kind of put down on paper. I say talk about because these are some things that are actually really good to do through conversation. Through conversation, not only can we get out our own ideas, but we can hear some feedback and maybe spark some new thoughts and perspectives that we didn't currently have around setting goals. But what are some opportunities that you want to create for yourself? Maybe you've got plenty of money. Maybe you've got all the things essentially in your life that you want to have on a base level. Well, what are some cool opportunities that you would want to create for yourself? Not that you need, but opportunities that you want to attract, to create, to have them come into your realm of existence. All right. So the next step number 2, that's all part of step number 1. Step number 2 is, what do you have to offer to people? And really, when I say offer, I mean value. What is the value that you're going to be bringing to your audience? And there's 3 main pillars or forms of value that almost any post, any type of content, any comment is going to fall into. And that's education, entertainment, and empowerment. You guys have heard lots of other people share this type of information, but it really is true. You're either educating, entertaining, or empowering people, or you're probably not really bringing them any type of value. To understand what's going to educate, entertain, or empower people, you have to understand who's your audience. And to do this, you can write down a big list of potential audiences and then narrow it down from there. Also, why is that audience going to listen to you? And what specifically are you offering this audience versus this other audience? And you don't have to have just one audience. You can be speaking to multiple audiences, but you do want to make sure that each post is speaking to one specific audience and that you're not trying to reach everyone with your message with every single post. You can create 5 different posts in a day that speak to 5 different groups of people. That's a much better strategy than trying to speak to all 5 groups within one post. You also want to think about, is there a market for the type of value that you're trying to share? Like, do people care is the question. And is it competitive? How crowded is the space that you're trying to speak into? Because those are 2 factors that really do matter. You also want to understand, who are you and how do people see you? What are the attributes that people are going to relate to you? And what is the character that they're going to create from reading your posts and engaging with your content online? Those are all things that fall into step number 2. Thank you, Dr. Stacey. Go Seahawks. I do love this beanie quite a lot. My husband, Ben, got it for me because my old beanie I had was getting super dirty and raggedy. And so he went out and got me a nice new one because he is such a sweetheart. And I'm very blessed to have such a wonderful husband. All right, step number 3 is creating your plan or your roadmap. And when you're doing this, you got to, again, ask yourself a bunch of questions around, how much time do you want to put into this? How much time do you want to budget for, posting social media content, for creating social media content? Also, how much money do you want to budget? And that could be anything from $0 up to as many dollars as you want. And that money could go into things such as hiring someone to help you create content. It could go into paid advertising to help boost some of your content. There's a lot of different ways you can distribute and put money into your social media. But you could decide, I want to spend $0 on my social media, and I'm just going to put in this amount of time into it. Now, in terms of the content, you want to think about, what are the series of content that you are going to create, that every single post is going to fall within a series. Now, when I say series, I'm talking about like a TV show series, because in reality, your social media account, your profile, is like a TV network. You're like channel 13 or channel 27. And every single series that I'm talking about is a show that is showing on your channel. And every single post is like an episode. And organizing it in this fashion makes it way easier for people to continually engage with your content and follow along and look forward to what they're going to see next. You also want to make sure that you're tracking and taking notes of your progress towards your goal that you set in step 1 in some form or fashion. Now, these metrics could be numerical. You could be looking at your number of views, your comments, your likes, your reactions, or it could be more intuitive. You could be observing and writing down notes about, it's really interesting. I noticed that this person engaged with this post in this particular way. So it doesn't have to be numerical, but it's probably going to be either numerical or observational, or both. If you think about your posts as a science experiment, this is exactly how we track science experiments, to see their progress, to see if their results are working towards our hypotheses. We look at numerical data, and then we also make written observations. Now, you also want to set some milestones, because it's really easy to get burnt out and discouraged on social media, especially when it's easy to get burnt out and discouraged on anything, you guys, if you don't have milestones that let you kind of stop along the path and look back and think, wow, you know what? I've actually come a really long way since I've started. And maybe I still have a long way to go, but look how far I've come. And that's how you can stay motivated, stay on track, and just really make sure that you're not going to burn out or give up on something when you're halfway through it when it comes to social media. And again, this whole 6-step strategy honestly applies to creating a business. It applies to starting and trying to accomplish almost anything. So it's really dynamic, really flexible, and really applies to a diverse number of areas. Step 4 is mapping out your capacity and your capabilities. So on social media, this looks like how many posts per week are you going to be able to create? What are the platforms that you're going to be posting on? And combining those two things to say, okay, how many posts are going to go on each platform? Also, what are some of the softwares or tools that you're going to use to create your posts? Anything from Canva to Google Documents to video editing tools like Adobe and Premiere Pro. And then what are the skills that you're going to need to use those softwares and tools? Or even if you're not using software and tools, what are the skills that you need to just create your content, like copywriting, like the ability to orate and speak to your audience if you're doing video or if you're doing audio. Those are things that you need to map out so you can have a really good picture of where you should be applying your efforts, because your results are always going to be a factor in equal to talent times effort. And the more talented you are, the further your effort goes in any particular area. And that's why if you're really not talented at something, you can try and put an immense amount of effort and get very little results. And that's a really discouraging place to be. So you want to maximize your efforts by finding the areas that you're the most talented and have the most capability in, and putting your capacity into those. Now, that's all encompassing with step 4. Let's go into step 5. Step 5 is all about executing. And to execute, you want to look at your plan and have it written out in a concrete way. You might want to do a 1-month content plan by structuring each week into your series of posts and saying, on Mondays, we're going to post about this type of content. On Tuesdays, we're going to post about this type of content. On Fridays, we're posting all about this type of content, and setting up a schedule that your audience is really able to follow and look forward to. Now, the other thing you need to do on your execution is figuring out how are you going to stay accountable to your goals. Are you going to use tools? Are you going to use other people to keep you accountable? Those are important things to think about, because it's easy to get off track if you don't have accountability set up and structured in your life. Again, in anywhere area, but especially when it comes to social media. The last thing about execution is thinking about engaging with your community. How are you going to do that? How much are you going to engage with your community when it comes to comments, when it comes to answering messages, when it comes to providing other types of value like webinars or workshops? How much are you really going to engage with your community once you've got it built? And the last step, step number 6, is all about analysis and optimization, because it's great to just be trudging forward, but looking back and reflecting and optimizing is something that gives you such a better advantage. And again, takes that effort that you're already going to be applying anyways and makes it go 2 to 10 times further. So some of the questions you want to ask yourself when it comes to analysis and optimization and creating a strategy around this are, what tools are you going to use to monitor and analyze your content? Are you going to use Google Sheets? Are you going to use a software platform that pulls data from your posts on different platforms? Are you going to use any tools, and what are they? Also think about what are some potential obstacles and challenges that might come up along the way so that you're at least a little bit prepared in your plan, in your execution, or at least looking out for them in your optimization phase. What are some of the ideas that you already have for overcoming those challenges? You map that out and you're 10 times ahead of where you could be if you just let those obstacles kind of smack you in the face and then you're stunned and you don't know what to do about it. Also, what are the things that are going to indicate success for you? And for this question, it's really important for you to understand, what is success for you? What does success look like? And then what are some indicators that you are reaching success? These are really important things for being able to analyze your content and understand what it's doing for you. And then finally, where are you going to keep all this info? How are you going to track your insights, your observations? Are you going to take notes? Are you going to keep all those notes in one place? I highly suggest keeping them as together and cohesive as you can, because it's going to make it easier for your brain to make cross connections, connect the dots, and start delivering and dishing up to you some really amazing ideas. So that is, in a very quick amount of time, the 6-step process that I have just created through analyzing my own work, through thinking about all of my different ideas. I'm in love with it. I hope you guys are in love with it too. I think it really, really will help you. Even if you just take one of those steps and you implement it, I can almost promise you you're going to see some really dramatic results from it. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. I'm happy to go over this with you. I'm happy to do consultations, workshops, and I'm putting together a 6-week course around this. So I hope you guys have an amazing Friday night. I hope you got some fun plans for this weekend, despite whatever restrictions and limitations are being imposed upon us by our governments, by our fearful mindsets, by whatever it is. Make sure that you get out, enjoy some outdoor time, some nature. I can promise you it's going to do you some good to your heart, your soul, and your health. And make sure that you're spending time with other people in a non-work context, that you're getting to just enjoy other people's company, enjoy other people's times. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, Dr. Stacy. I'm really excited for our meeting on Monday to hear about what you've been thinking and working on, and putting some of your ideas into some concrete plans and action. Oh, we got another comment here right before I close out. I like to put it all in a presentation to take a look back and evaluate. It's fun. Absolutely. That is a great suggestion. I find that that's a really great way to do it too. In fact, I've started to fall in love with Google Slides. Creating some Google slide decks for yourself to help you organize visually all the different steps, all the different plans, all the different mapping that you have can be super, super valuable. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have an amazing night. I will try and get in another live stream here over the weekend. And if you feel like this content was valuable, I would absolutely love it if you tagged someone in the comments or you grabbed the link and you shared the post. Have an amazing night.